Everybody, happy Thursday. Hope you guys are all doing fantastic. So I have gotten a ton of Disney questions over the last, I don't know, few weeks since I mentioned that we're going back to Disney World. And so I've compiled your questions and I'm going to answer them live for you here today. If you are popping on and you have questions that you would like me to answer, let me know that. I'll be happy to answer anything I can for you guys. If it's Disney related or even if it's not Disney related, I can answer all the things if you want. And if you're watching this on the replay, leave a comment below with any questions you'd like me to answer and I'll just type to you and that'd be fine too. All right, so I'm gonna dive right in. The first question that I've gotten is, what are your plans for your upcoming Disney vacation? So the thing that we're doing is actually we're going to be down in the Orlando area for something else this fall anyway. So while we were going to be down there, we decided to go ahead and add in 2 park days. So what we're gonna do is we're doing 1 day at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, which I'm super excited about. And then the second day, we're going to be doing Epcot. Outside of that, we're staying off site for the whole time. So we're going to probably be doing some resort hopping. So we like to do the monorail loop of resorts, right? The Grand Floridian, Polynesian, and Contemporary. So just kind of hang out there. We like to go to the boardwalk too. That might be a little tricky. We are going, how long are you out there? We're going to be out there, hi Letty, how are you? It'll be not quite a full week. It's, I think, 6 days if you include the travel days. So it's really not that long, but it's long enough for us because we have been out there so much. It's plenty of time for us. And we'll probably maybe stop by Wilderness Lodge, try to get to the boardwalk, although it's Food and Wine starting today. So it's gonna be kind of hard to park at the boardwalk. We'll just see. So yeah, so that's what we're doing. We're staying off site the whole time. We're not staying on site at all. So that'll be a new experience for us as well. So we're excited, it'll be good. All right, so question number 2, are you DVC members? No. We are not. Have you thought about becoming a DVC member if you are not one? We are not Disney Vacation Club members. However, we have stayed in Disney Vacation Club hotels because we have rented Disney Vacation Club points. And I have a whole video on how to do that here on my channel. If you just search Annie Simple Life, how to rent DVC, it'll pop up in the YouTube search. And we did the math on it, and it works out to being about the same if we were to buy DVC resale, so like not buying through Disney, but through somebody who was selling their Disney Vacation Club, was it membership, I guess, or timeshare, whatever. If we were to get that for the length of 30 years, 50 years, whatever, renting points at the end of both of those works out to being about the same, but it doesn't have that upfront cost. So we are just fine renting Disney Vacation Club points. That's not to say that we'll never become Disney Vacation Club members. I don't know. If stars align, maybe it'll happen. Most likely though, we probably will not. Just because we've had such a good experience renting Disney Vacation Club points, might as well just keep on renting because it was good. All right, so then number 3, what advice do you have for us? We're planning our first trip and are overwhelmed with where to start. So tips for your first trip to Disney World. All right, so the first thing that I want to stress is that Disney World in Florida it's huge. I mean, it's twice the size of Manhattan, so it's not a small place. And don't expect to see and do every single thing. A lot of people go into their first Disney trip thinking this is the only time I'm ever going to Disney. I want to get all the things in that I can possibly do. We were kind of that way too. However, we got bit by the Disney mouse and we've been back like pretty much every year since then. So just go in assuming that you're gonna come back eventually. That's like my first tip. Tip number 2 is to go on YouTube here and do some like there's people that do trip vlogs and things like that, and just look through a couple of ones that I really like. I like the Tim Tracker. He's got good ones. There are folks that do live vlogging from the Disney parks pretty much every single day or every single week. There are a few channels that I really like that can kind of show you the lay of the land of Disney. One is Spokes Maine, shameless plug because I'm a moderator for Spokes Spokesmayne's channel. So Spokesmayne is one. It's Spokesmayne. There's also Resort TV 1. Josh and Jenna do live from the parks every Friday night at 6 p.m. Eastern. There's also Prince Charming Dev, who does really good Disney live vlogs, as well as Corey Meets World. So I would recommend taking a look at those channels just so you can kind of see just the vastness and what Disney has to offer. Outside of that, I recommend staying on site if you can swing it, because you have the opportunity to take advantage of extra magic hours where the park is open either early or open for a few hours later in the evening. That makes for a good experience too, especially if you have children. You didn't specify if you have children, but I'm gonna assume you do. I don't know. If they want to go back and maybe swim in the afternoon, or they need their nap in the afternoon, it's a lot easier to get back to your hotel if you are on property. Disney has transportation for you that's completely free. You don't need to rent a car. They can get you from the airport to your hotel, from your hotel to the different parks and the Disney Springs area, so you don't have to worry about that. But staying on site is, I feel like it makes for a better experience, especially if it's your first Disney trip. Now, that goes to say, we are staying off site this next time, but we've also been to Disney like almost 12 times probably in the last, maybe 11 times in the last 12 years. So we've been a lot. And so at this point in time, we're like, we know the lay of the land. We don't have to stay on site to have a good time. But if it's your first time, I recommend staying on site. Second thing is, when you stay on site, you can make your Fast Pass reservations 60 days in advance. So you go onto Disney's website and you can reserve basically ride times for different attractions that you want to see. So after you go through and you see the Disney vlogs and you're like, okay, I really want to do Dumbo, or okay, I really want to do, like, what is this Haunted Mansion thing? I really want to do that. You kind of get an idea of the things that you want to ride, and then you can reserve a ride time for whenever you want to do it, which is pretty cool. So when you stay on site, you can do that 60 days in advance. When you stay off site, you can do that 30 days in advance. So staying on site, again, it gives you a 30-day extra window, really, to get your Fast Pass reservations in, which is always a good thing. And also, if you have kids that really want to meet characters, doing character dining experiences might be something to look into as well, and you can make those reservations 180 days in advance. So you can, you know, go see the princesses in Cinderella Castle if you really want to do that. At Cinderella's Royal Table, there's lots of different character dining experiences. But the number one thing I guess I recommend to people is do research ahead of time. It's okay to book your trip yourself. You do not have to go through somebody to book your trip for you. But if the whole process is feeling like, I have no idea, I do not want to spend my time on this, I could be doing a million other things right now instead of booking a Disney trip, I recommend going through a Disney travel agency. Disney pays them. You don't pay them. You actually get free services from them. So I actually really recommend Dreams Unlimited Travel. They are affiliated with the Disboards, and I've been a member of the Disboards, which is like a Disney chat community, since 2006. So I highly recommend them. Their agents are just really, really good people, and they will be able to help you, hook you up, and do all the things. Hashtag not sponsored, though they should, because shameless plug there, I suppose. Okay, so number 4, what essential oils do you take to the park and how do you use them? Ooh, I'll come back to that. I'll answer your question here. Hi, Annie. We are only taking carry-ons. Yes. And what, with limited space, what oils do you recommend taking? Okay, good. You are right up my alley here. Should you take your diffuser? Absolutely. So here's the thing. So for the longest time, I only carried oils with me. I didn't carry a diffuser. For those of you guys that are just tuning in, you have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm talking about essential oils. I have a whole bunch of them. You see this thing behind me? So that right there, that's an essential oil diffuser, and there's a little tiny oil sitting right there. So essential oils are kind of like magical bottles of plant juice, and they do lots of really cool things for our bodies and can replace other things that we would pull out of our wellness cabinet, as we'll call it. So the diffuser right there, it's kind of like a combination of a humidifier and an air freshener, but it also sprays the oils into the air. When you breathe them in, it can help keep your body healthy, or help you breathe better, or help you sleep better, or help you chill out if you're really stressed. Okay, so it's like crash course in oils. For the longest time, we didn't travel with our diffuser. I don't know why. I thought it was just really bulky. I mean, you can't really see how big it is, but it's about yay big, something like that. But that's the one that we travel with now. And we do it, and it helps make our hotel room feel like home. Plus, it's great to diffuse thieves while you are down at Disney. Oils can help keep your body going how it's supposed to, you know, can help you stay above that wellness line, as we call it. So diffusing thieves in the room, purification in the room can help you breathe really good. RC and Raven are two other oils that are really good to diffuse when you're in a hotel room, especially too if your hotel room has been shut up for a while, or maybe you're staying in one of those rooms at Disney where it's a pet-friendly hotel and it maybe smells like dog after you get back in your room. I don't know. It can really help with the odor stuff. But it also can help keep your body doing what it's supposed to. And especially if you use oils at home all the time, it's a really helpful thing to have those oils diffusing at night that you normally diffuse at home, because it can help you fall asleep and all of that. So yeah, I do recommend bringing your diffuser. 101 questions, totally fine. Do I need to clean the diffuser before switching oils? You don't have to, but I do. So when I have leftover oil and water in my diffuser, I dump it into these plants here. I would only do that with Young Living oils, though. I wouldn't do that with like any other brand of oils, because you don't know if those are pure, if there's synthetics in there or carriers or whatever. But with Young Living oils, that's what I do. So I take my diffuser, anything that's left over that's like not enough to be able to continue diffusing, I put in my plants, and then I run it under water. I take a paper towel and I just like run the inside of it. Like I dry it out, and then I fill it up with water and put the oils in. The reason I do that is from a scent standpoint. Like if I'm diffusing something that's pepperminty or spicy, but now I want to go diffuse something that's citrusy, it doesn't have that cross of scent. So that's the one thing. The other thing too is, like for me at night, I know that peppermint wakes me up. So hi, Jacqueline. I wouldn't necessarily want to diffuse peppermint when I'm trying to fall asleep. And so if my diffuser is running peppermint, which is normally something that wakes me up in the morning, that'll kind of keep me up at night. That's just a personal thing. So I like to diffuse things at night that are calming, relaxing, things that I know will help me fall asleep, like lavender, stress away, rutavala, things like that. And so I definitely wash out, you know, wipe out my diffuser before I do all that stuff. So hopefully that's helpful for you. So as far as oils that I take to the park, I take things that I use at home. You're welcome, you're welcome. So I take thieves for sure, to help keep my immune system going strong. I take Digis for all the tummy everything. When we travel, you know, our digestion gets a little wacky jack sometimes. So Digis can help with all the things from slowing systems down to speeding systems up. It's really, really helpful for that. And also if you're not used to eating like certain types of foods, it's really comforting to take after a meal or put on yourself after a meal. It's just a one that you're gonna be happy that you have. Also, if you're a motion sensitive person, me, I will take the Digis and I'll put it right here behind my earlobe on my head, right here, on both sides, and it helps me with my motion sensitivities. In addition to that, I also take ginger capsules, and I wear C bands, which are like pressure point bands. That helps me a lot, so I can ride Tower of Terror and I can ride all the things and not have a problem. Really good. I also take peppermint with me too, and I literally have these in the park and I have them with me. The peppermint helps me cool down. I'm somebody who tends to get a little anxious when I get overheated. And so when I'm at Disney, yeah, it's, you know, you're like living on the face of the sun, right? Compared to where I'm from in the Midwest, where it's like cloudy and gray today and it looks like fall already. Down at Disney, it's hot all year round. And so if I get too hot, I get super anxious and uncomfortable. So I take peppermint oil, and what I'll do is I'll take a little washcloth from the hotel and I'll put it in a Ziploc with some ice, and I'll carry that with with me to the park. And then when I'm in the park and I'm feeling like super hot, I'll take 1 drop of the peppermint oil on that washcloth, and then I'll keep it away from my eyes, but I'll rub it on the back of my neck, on my pulse points, anywhere where I need to feel like a little refreshed. And it is behind my knees, really, really cooling and amazing. So it feels really, 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 really good. It helps pull heat out of the body, which is awesome. The other thing with that too is I really, really, really like having that because it's so cooling and icy and warm kind of feel. It feels amazing massaged into your feet at the end of the day when you've just been walking around the parks and your feet are like, what are you doing to me, y'all? You gotta knock it off. Or my shins or my knees. Amazing, feels really good. Lavender is a really good one to help me fall asleep at night, so I have that one. Also very good to put on my skin after I have been outside all day. I literally just oil myself up, and my skin thanks me for it the next day. That's all I can really say about that compliantly. So there we go. Hi, Michelle. Oh, I missed a comment. I diffused lavender oil for our room. Mousekeeper tracked us down the hall, asked what we were doing. Made our room smell so nice. Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Yes, 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 yes. Lavender's amazing to have in your room. Lavender, lemon, and peppermint too, especially if you are somebody who's not local to Florida. We call it change of season support, if you understand like what I'm talking about. That's all I can really say about that, but it's really helpful to have those things in the diffuser going. Lemon, lavender, and peppermint. Those 3 things, super duper amazing. I love that. So, what else? Let's see. Other things I take. Is there anything else that I take with me that I'm not thinking of? Those are like my big ones. I have to have those in the park with me at all times. If I don't have them, it is not a good day. I do not have a good day. I mean, I could take a whole lot more than that, but those are my absolute necessities. So hopefully that answers your question. How many times, hello. How many times have you been to Disney, and which has been your favorite trip? All right, so my favorite trip has been, oops, oh, you're welcome. Well, I've been to Disney, let me see. All right, so we went in 2006, 7, and 8. We went in 10, we went in 11, skipped 12. We went in 13 twice. We went in 15, 16, 17, and we're going in 18. 11 times. I've been 11 times since 2006. So 11 times in the last 12 years. My favorite trip, that's hard, because each one is different and each one has had its ups and downs. I think my first trip to Disney as an, well, okay, so I've been actually 3 additional times, or two or three times additional, but I was so young that I don't really remember too much about it. As an adult, I've been 11 times in the last 12 years. And I think my favorite trip has been thus far, my 2006 trip was the gateway. That was what got me like totally bitten by the mouse, and I had to go back, and I just like fell in love with it. So I'm gonna say that one, and that was my honeymoon. That was probably my favorite trip to date, because it's what got me introduced again to Disney. Yeah, that's a hard question though. At what age is it okay to diffuse thieves? I would do it at any time. Is it safe for kids if I diffuse while we are at the parks when we're not in the room? Absolutely. Yeah. I have 0 hesitations. I know, isn't it a nice place for a honeymoon? 0 hesitation diffusing thieves around children. None. It'd be a good idea if it's new to you to diffuse 1 drop and see how they do. You can always add more oil to it, but oils are so concentrated, you'd need like this much, and that's it to start with. Yeah, I would be okay right from the get-go, let me see, my favorite resort that I've stayed in. Well, actually, this goes into the next question, which is funny. You're like reading my mind here. This is very good. Where have you stayed at Disney, and what has been your favorite hotel? So I'll just answer that question. So we have stayed at, let's see, the Swan twice. My husband stayed at the Dolphin also. I've never stayed at the Dolphin yet. It's coming though. We're going to stay at the Dolphin. Putting it out there in the universe. Let me see. Stayed at Pop Century. We stayed at All Star Movies and All Star Music. We've stayed at the Boardwalk 3 times. We stayed at Old Key West in a 2-bedroom. We stayed at Saratoga in a studio. Am I missing any? And we've stayed off-site a few times. I think that's it. Pretty sure that's it. I don't think I'm missing any. So of those, my favorite resort is a tie between the Swan and the Boardwalk. I love the Boardwalk. We stayed at the Boardwalk 3 times. You can't beat the location. I mean, you walk to the back of Epcot. It's just awesome. And then the evening ambiance is just amazing. I love it. The Swan, similar idea. It's right next door. So it's just like super convenient. You ride a little friendship boat. I just love it. A place that I haven't stayed yet that I want to, we were actually booked at Bay Lake Tower last September, but Hurricane Irma came through the exact date we were supposed to fly down to Florida, so we canceled that trip. So I would like to stay at Bay Lake Tower or any of the monorail resorts. I really love the Polynesian and I love the Grand Floridian. Like, it is awesome. So we're definitely going to be like going on the loop when we go down in a couple months, just because I just love those hotels. I just think they're super duper awesome. Yeah, so the whole honeymoon thing came about because at the time my in-laws had tickets that they weren't going to use anymore, and so they just gave them to us, and this was before the finger scanner thing came around. So I actually went into the park as my mother-in-law. So yeah, it's really my in-laws' fault that we got cray-cray about Disney. My parents honeymooned at Disney the first month it was open. Oh, the ticket price was $350. Oh my gosh. But yeah, absolutely right. They had e-tickets or like ticket booklets and things like that way back in the day. Yeah, my first trip to Disney I think was in 1986 or 87. I'm pretty sure. That was a baby. I was really, really young. So that goes to show you how old I am. But they had done away with the whole ticket book thing at that point in time. I'm pretty sure. I don't think that was still a thing, but okay, so the next question is, can you tell me more about your experience with having special needs at Disney? Yeah, the ticket books. So special needs at Disney. Disney is the place that you can go if you have anyone, or if you yourself in your family has any kind of special needs. Disney is the most accommodating place for you. For us, our special needs have changed over the last, 12 times, right? So at the point in time now is when I'm filming this for you guys, our needs are less now than when they were in 2017 and 2016. So there's that. 2016, our needs were a lot greater than they were in 2015 too. 2015 and 2016, our needs were greater than they were prior to that. So we've had like Disney with 0 special considerations, like just fine. Then we had a time period where my anxiety was through the roof and I was having panic attacks like literally like every single day that I was down there. And that was really frustrating for me because Disney was my happy place and it was not my happy place for pretty much 2 trips that we went down there. So special needs kind of started to creep in a little bit. And then fast forward to 2016, my husband was recovering from an autoimmune thing, but we still went down to, we had to cancel a Disney trip because it all happened at that time. And then we rescheduled it for like maybe 5 or 4 months later or something. So we did the parks a lot differently than we had done prior to that. And then even like now, of course, like our health is a whole lot better than it was even just a couple years ago. So at this point in time, we still kind of take it easy just because we don't need to run between like Haunted Mansion and teacups. Like it's fine. We don't have to like go crazy. But at this point in time, I think for us, what has worked the best is we have found little out of the way places where we can sit and take a break for a little bit of time and get out of the crowds, cool down, have a snack or have a meal. We've found these little hideaway spots and I've shared about these before, but if you guys want to know about them, I'll share about them now too. I'm one of those people. Disney is a place where there's crowds everywhere. It doesn't matter what time of year you go now. Of course, it's a little bit less crowded like now compared to Christmas week or 4th of July, but it's always gonna be just busy. It just is at this point in time now. So for us, we like to be able to get out of the crowds as much as we can. So at the Magic Kingdom, let's do a walkthrough. So at the Magic Kingdom, for me, I really enjoy being able to go up on the train station. I don't know what you call that, platform? Is that what you call it? There's benches up there where you can look down Main Street. It's wonderful. If you actually go into the train station more, like you're actually going to get on the train, there's benches inside there. It's quiet. They always have the doors open, so there's a bit of a cross breeze, which is good. And it's very, very quiet because the only reason that people are in there is to cross through to get to the train. So really like that. We like the rocking chairs that are outside the exit of the Hall of Presidents. When you come out the Hall of Presidents exit, it's to the right, like up some stairs. That's out of the way. Or if you go out the exit and you go left, that's the outdoor seating area for Sleepy Hollow. Refreshments, they have those waffle sandwiches and the Nutella waffle things, if you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so that's a nice out of the way place as well. And then if you go towards the castle, kind of like you're going to Tomorrowland, there's some really nice benches there, sort of near like the moat and the rose garden that are out of the way that you can sit in and relax in. It's really nice. I found that when I was having the height of my anxiety, I did a whole lot better in the parks and on the rides than in the hotel room and in the restaurants. I don't know why that is. Because there's like hustle and bustle and things going on in the parks and on the rides and things, I would have imagined that it actually would have been the opposite, where I would have been happier in the hotel room or in restaurants where you're just like sitting. But for me, it was complete opposite. And I actually had this running through my mind. We were on the Pirates of the Caribbean, and I was sitting there, you know, going through, and I'm like, this is the first time of this trip that I've actually felt good on a ride or anywhere. Was sitting there riding Pirates of the Caribbean. It's really strange. I don't know why I was like, huh, I actually feel okay right now. Like, it's very weird. So you just kind of have to know, like, I don't know, you got to listen to yourself, listen to your gut. Okay, so that was Magic Kingdom. Going over to Epcot. At Epcot, the countries all have little out-of-the-way places. Every single one of them does. That has a bench that's out of the way or a little pathway that's out of the way. Some that come to mind, I've talked about this before, and a lot of people have commented on my channel because of this, is Morocco. When you go into Morocco, you go into that archway, go through the archway, take a left, immediate left, and there's this little, I don't know what you call it. It's a room, doesn't have a roof, but it has a fountain coming out of the wall with two benches. And it's really like this pathway between, they have like a art of henna and like jewelry and things, Moroccan style exhibit. And then it kind of leads you into where the shopping is. And it's this little spot that everybody walks past because there's nothing to do in there, but there's really nice benches, and I love the sound of running water. And so I love that because that's like coming out of the wall. It's just really chill and relaxing. I love it. So I highly recommend checking that out the next time you're around World Showcase. The other place that I like, it's actually the UK and Canada. UK has in the back area, it's actually a smoking section, and it used to be I think like a meet and greet area for a character back there, and that's where it also used to be a tribute band to the Beatles would play back behind the pavilion, but when that's not going on, it's really nice back there. It's like literally you walk into the pavilion and you just go straight back as far as you possibly can, and that's a really nice place. Take a phone call, just like hang out back there. There's some benches there too. And then in Canada, like you're going to Oh Canada, the movie, 360 movie, there's a really big rushing waterfall. And again, I love the sound of running water. That's like comfort for me. So I really like being back there also. One other place around World Showcase that is an big high honorable mention is China. Right before you go into Reflections of China, which is their 360 movie, there's a whole bunch of benches. It's really, really quiet, and it's a great place to have a snack, cool off for a little bit. There's very rarely anything else going on in that room outside of just a queuing area for the movie. So I love, love, love doing that. And living with the land. That's like my favorite ride of all time. Love it. Animal Kingdom. We found a great spot by accident last trip when we did the, we walked up to the Tree of Life. There's like a pathway that leads right up to it. Again, waterfall right up there, but there's little benches on the way right up on the Tree of Life, and it's just beautiful, and it's just a nice out of the way place. They pump in the music there too. It's very calming, relaxing, and people just walk by it because they don't know it's there. So it's actually kind of like on, if you're looking at the Tree of Life, on the left side. So Hollywood Studios, you know, there's not a whole lot of places to get away in Hollywood Studios because it's pretty small. If I were to pick one, I would say over by the Tower of Terror exit. There's some little like wall seating there. I don't love it, but it's out of the way enough for it to be okay. I would have said the back lot, but RIP back lot. That's not there anymore. There are a couple other places though at the resorts that I really like to escape to also. I like the convention floor of the Contemporary. It's upstairs from the Wave. It's wonderful if there's not a convention going on. Hi gal, I really, really like the convention floor. I find that to be very nice as long as there's not a convention. The other place is the lobby of the Grand Floridian, beautiful. The lobby of the Polynesian also. There's a little running water in there now, which I really, really like. Again, that waterfall kind of sound. So I really like that. And then at the boardwalk, there's like, I have a bench. I've like labeled it my bench at the boardwalk. Actually, I have two. So when you're in the boardwalk lobby and you walk straight out, there's like little rocking chairs, which I absolutely love. Down below that, there are kind of recline chairs, sort of like beach chairs a little bit. I love that too. But that's not my favorite. My favorite, and you're gonna think I'm nuts, but you know, that's fine. If you're not there already, we've missed the boat somewhere. If you're in the lobby, you like walk in the main lobby part and you go to the right, like you're going to the inside, you walk until you walk past the elevators and you're almost outside and there is a big red couch. I have eaten many a meal on that big red couch. I don't know. I just like, when I go to Disney, I just make myself at home. I kind of move in, apparently. So if you're ever there when I'm there, you're probably gonna see me sitting there eating some plantains on some random couch somewhere. Because I feel like that's all I do. It's just a thing. I totally got off topic here. But oh yeah, okay. So as far as if you have special needs at Disney World, one thing to look into is their guest assistance card. It's actually the Disney Access service. And it's basically a card that can help you if you have someone in your family that maybe has autism, or if there's somebody that can't maybe be away from a bathroom for a really long time, they can't stand and wait in a long queue line like everybody else. You can go into guest services at any of the parks and request a Disney Access Service card. And what it'll allow you is when you go to, let's say, I don't know, Jungle Cruise, sure. You go to Jungle Cruise and you see the cast member up there and you say, I have a DAS. They'll scan your magic band. They will give you an assigned time to come back and ride the ride. So it's going to be 10 minutes less than the posted standby wait time, but you'll be going through the fast pass queue. So it's gonna be the same amount of time you're gonna have to wait. You're just not gonna have to wait in that standby queue. You can go off and, you know, go to the bathroom if you have to, or go, you know, walk around, get in the shade, whatever it is you need to do, and then you come back 10 minutes, you know, before you're posted, whatever. You scan your thing, you go through the fast pass queue, and you're good to go. Do you eat at Disney, or do you make and bring all your own food? At this point in time, I make and bring all of our own food. We have eaten at Disney, and we've had very good experiences eating at Disney. The Disney chefs, okay, so over the last 2.5 years, I have eaten food that wasn't prepared by myself or my family 3 times in the last 2.5 years. I'm not exaggerating. It's literally 2 times in a restaurant, 1 time was takeout. The last 2.5 years. So, yeah, autoimmune protocol. We'll do that to you. It's been fine. The thing about Disney is a place where I have so many friends that are paleo or autoimmune protocol that either live down there or vacation down there. So often they post pictures of you know, stuff that the chefs have made for them. There was one girl who posted she had plantain chips made at the Flying Fish at the boardwalk that was made with olive oil, salt, and plantains, which is pretty much how I make them here at home. And they made them specially for her, which is really, really awesome. So if we wanted to eat in restaurants at Disney, we absolutely could. And you know, who knows? We might the next time we go, a couple months, we may do that. We may go to a restaurant. I don't know. I have to talk to Mr. Simple Life about that and see how he feels about actually doing that. But yeah, they will go above and beyond and they're super, super trained with like allergy needs and things like that. It's the one place that I would go and I would eat in a restaurant. Yeah. Freely. Like, I just know that they would take good care of us. We would have to let them know about our allergies, of course. We wouldn't just be able to order off of the gluten-free menu because we have way more restrictions than just gluten. But yeah, the chefs would absolutely make stuff for us, easy peasy. This is the whole reason why we stay Disney Vacation Club or off-site in a place that has a kitchen. Because yeah, I bring like droves of food into the resort or into the parks, and it's fine. Like the security, as long as it's not in glass containers, it's fine. It's all fine. I actually have a backpack cooler. It's a Coleman backpack cooler that I bring, like a Pyrex, not Pyrex, but it's like a plastic version of a Pyrex thing. And I bring our food, wrap it up, you know, and then we just find an out-of-the-way bench and we're good to go. So yeah. Give myself a break, absolutely. I know, I feel like it's more on me to plan where we're gonna eat and what we're gonna eat if we were to go out than for me to just make it myself. But, you know, I don't know. It's all been fine. Airbnb and VRBO have been our BFFs when we've been traveling, and we've traveled quite a bit outside of Disney over the last couple of years. We've been in Canada, we've been all over the East Coast, we've been to Utah a few times, we've been down into Arizona and all the places, Colorado. So yeah, in Florida. It's been fine. I mean, it's funny too, because I feel like it's easier for us to eat now than when we were just gluten-free and we were looking for things like gluten-free pasta, gluten-free bread, this, that, and the other. It was harder for us to find those things in grocery stores than to grab, you know, an avocado and a tin of sardines and some salt and call it a day. So it's a lot easier for us to actually eat on the road now, as long as we have access to a grocery store and an Airbnb. So yeah, we're one of those people, but you do what you gotta do. Will you attend any after-hours activities during your Disney trip? Mickey's Not So Scary. Yeah, we're doing Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party for our Magic Kingdom Day. So we are not there. We leave before Mickey's Very Merry Christmas parties happened. This is actually gonna be our 3rd year in a row going to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. And I can tell you about my plans if you want to hear about them. We are going to be arriving at 4 o'clock because the park can open for people who have Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party tickets at 4, unless you're unless you're DVC members, and then you get in at 2. Annual pass holders? No, DVC members. You get in at 2, but we're not. So we get in at 4. We're going to beeline it to Jungle Cruise and Pirates of the Caribbean. My plan is to get fast passes for those and do Jungle Cruise, Pirates of the Caribbean. The reason we want to do Pirates before the party starts is because of, I keep wanting to call him Peg Leg Pete, Gunpowder Pete. I've heard that yes, thank you for our costumes. We're going the same this year. We're going to be the Swan and Dolphin this year. Yeah, we're going to go as a hotel because we're weird. But you do what you gotta do. So this whole Gunpowder Pete thing, it's like a special overlay for the Halloween party. And it's just character actors that draw a lot of crowds that don't give you a lot of return. Sorry. So we're going to do Pirates of the Caribbean early on in the night before it even starts. Get it out of the way. Then we're gonna go over and do the Tiki Room because Mr. Simple Life loves the Tiki Room, and that is not open during the party because that's a trick-or-treat location. So we're gonna go right over there. Hopefully by this point in time, it's somewhere around before 5:30. Then we're gonna beeline it over to Tomorrowland, and we're going to do either Carousel of Progress or Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, because both of those are trick-or-treat locations before the park closes at 6. If we can do both of those, that will be an ideal situation, but I don't know if we're going to be able to do that. We're going to try to do both, though. Once 6 o'clock rolls around, that's when the park closes to guests, but is open for Halloween party people to come. So I don't know exactly, like, I think it's a transition time where they close down the attractions that are going to be closed. They set up the trick-or-treat things and whatever. So I think I will be bringing food into the park. So we're just going to grab a bench and we're going to have our food there that evening around 6 o'clock. And then probably at that point in time, we will mosey our way over to Splash Mountain and Big Thunder Mountain, get those out of the way. It's kind of like a lot of park crossing, but the reason I'm doing that is to get out of the way for the parade that goes through, because you get stuck. If you're on the one side of the park, like, you got the parade like surrounding you on all sides, and then you can't really go anywhere and get around. So we're gonna try to do Splash and Big Thunder, do one of the trick-or-treat things there, trick-or-treat for our little tokens, right, our allergy-friendly token things, and then kind of make our way back through Liberty Square and do Haunted Mansion, and then do like the stuff in Fantasyland, and do all that kind of thing, maybe do some more trick-or-treat locations, and then turn in our tokens early in the night. And then catch the fireworks over by Gaston's Tavern. We love being not on Main Street because crowds, right? We don't want to be. So when we are over by Gaston's Tavern, there's nobody, and the fireworks are literally above your head in 360 view. It's awesome. You can't see the projection on the castle, but I don't care. I've seen it, so it's fine. And with as many times as I moderate Spokesman's channel and like all the things that he does, I've seen it, so I'm not worried about it. It's fine. So we're just gonna do that, and then you know, maybe catch the second Booty U parade. I don't know, we'll see, and then head out of the park. So that's our plan for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, and then we'll turn in our tokens. The allergy-friendly stuff that they have available now is just so good. I'm really, really excited. This life of ours. Hi guys. Yeah. Now you guys went. You went to the first party. Is that right? I think I saw your vlog. Yeah, so I'm excited about the allergy stuff. My husband and I love your channel. We watch it like all the time. Twice. Oh, that's awesome. I love it. I saw the part where you were waiting for the popcorn bucket. I think something like that. But anyway, I'm getting off track. What am I saying? Oh, the allergy-friendly stuff. So if you have some sort of an allergy where you can't have just normal Mars branded stuff, candy, when you trick-or-treat, they'll give you like a little teal trick-or-treat bag, and then you go up to the cast members at the trick-or-treat locations and they put a token in your bag instead of candy in your bag. So once you collect your tokens, Disney friends are the best. I just love them. Anyway, you take your little bag of tokens to one of two locations. One of them is, there's like a ticket place outside the exit of the Hall of Presidents, right by those rocking chairs that I was talking about before, or over right at the entrance of Main Street. And you just hand them your bag and you look at this chart of all the things they have available for you, and they'll give you the stuff that you can have as an allergy person. So Mr. Simple Life can actually have 2 things this year. What? So he can have the non-treat items. It's like a craft kit, which last year at least was like you could make a little scarecrow and like put on your refrigerator. I don't know. I ended up doing it during our trick-or-treat here. He didn't want to do it. But anyway, so he can do that, and it's being sponsored by Go-Go Squeeze. So there's like little applesauce in Go-Go Squeeze packets. I'm super excited. He can have those too. So anyway, and then I can have the Enjoy Life dark chocolate bars that they have there as well. But they have lots of different things. They've got some like organic lollipops and I don't even know, jelly beans and things like that. Surf Sweets, I think, is one brand. Enjoy Life is another. They have like different types of gluten-free cookies and all sorts of stuff. So it's good stuff. Good stuff. They are really taking care of the allergy people, which is really nice. So yeah, last year it was craft kits and the dark chocolate Enjoy Life bars. And then the year before that was just the craft kits. So so there's that, but they've really, really upped their game. I think I missed somebody. Yeah, our costumes last year, so funny. Yeah. It is really good to have a plan for the Halloween party because, well, the first party was oversold from what the rumor was that I heard. The second party, from what I understand, was also really busy. Last year when we went, it was busy. Last year, I think we went, it was like the first week of October, so we're going to be a little later this year, more into the meat of October. So just kind of see how that goes. But we're planning on whatever we see, we see. I mean, we don't want to just run ourselves ragged. You know, we've been to the Magic Kingdom 8 million times. So whatever we see, we see. We'll just have fun, and if it rains, we'll bring an umbrella. What can we do? So just hope for no hurricanes. No hurricanes, knocking on wood. I have a little bit of PTSD from last year with having to cancel the trip, reschedule the trip, and oh my gosh, that was awful. Awful. But it's been a little more mild this year, which is a very good thing. So any other questions that I can answer for you guys? I have gone through my questions here on my computer. That's what I've been looking at. Yeah, just have fun. You got it. Absolutely. I mean, that's what Disney's all about, right? It is the happiest place on earth, most magical place on earth, one of the two. It's my happy place. I don't know. But any questions that I can answer for you guys, I am happy to do so. Yes, we are going as the Swan and Dolphin again this year. I was thinking about mixing up my costume a little bit by making ears with like swan things on them. I don't know. They do have those chicken hats. Have you ever seen the chicken hats where it's like a chicken and it's like legs are hanging down? I was thinking about that, but I'm like, that's more chicken than swan. People might think I'm cray-cray. Do you get trip insurance? If so, what company? Yes. So this year we actually don't have trip insurance, but last year we did, thankfully, and trip insurance did cover our cancellation for our hurricane stuff. The trip insurance I go through, it's actually an aggregator. It's Travel Insured is the name of it's Travel Insured. Let me look it up. I think it's just travelinsured.com. Hang on. Travel Insured. And that's worked really, really good. Yeah, travelinsured.com is who I've been with before. We were renting points, right, which are non-refundable at Bay Lake Tower. Had to cancel. The lady was so good. She was like, we can get you in another time, and we couldn't push it back like really far, and the dates didn't work, and it was like, ooh. So we actually could not reschedule, but it worked out great. We submitted a claim. The lady that we rented from was amazing. She signed papers that we needed her to sign, and it was awesome. So we literally got the entire cost of our trip back, including our Disney tickets that we couldn't use. Crazy, right? Crazy. Because we had a Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party ticket. Anyway, long story. But we got everything back from Travel Insured. So that's who I use if I'm going to get travel insurance. And a lot of the times we do get travel insurance for various things now, especially with medical considerations. But at this point in time, for our upcoming trip, because of how short it is and things that we do have that are refundable to us, we're not gonna do it this upcoming trip. But yeah, that's who I recommend. Travel Insured. And they have lots of different plans. You just pick the one that's right for you. And some of them are really good too if you book it at the time that you make your travel reservations. It's within, I think, like a 21-day window of making those reservations. Some of them have a stipulation where you can get the entire cost of your trip back, like literally no questions asked. So that's a really good thing. You would be out of pocket the, whatever it is, $100 for the travel insurance policy, but if it gives you that peace of mind to have it, yeah. Anytime we stay DVC, we absolutely have travel insurance with it. So, but since we're staying off-site this time, our Airbnbs have really good, flexible, like cancellation policies and stuff. I'm not worried about it. So, that answers your question. Yeah. Any other questions that I can ask for or answer for you guys? That's a good question. A lot of people ask about travel insurance. And it's funny, on the internet, a lot of people ask about travel insurance too, and no one ever gives an answer. I'm like, why don't you give an answer? Oh, thank you. Yes, you have a wonderful evening too. We'll keep watching you guys. We love Disney Life of Ours. Yes, we love local Orlando vloggers. Like, it's just super fun. And I'm watching everybody's channels like all the time. Being part of the Mod Mafia, you know, it's just like something I do. I'm always watching Disney vlogs. It's just, my life is a Disney vlog, it seems like. So I will be I say this now and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I should say this out loud, filming while we're down at Disney. I won't be doing live vlogs probably, just because I don't have the bandwidth, like literally, like whatever they call this, 3G cell coverage, whatever it is, like Spokesman and Resort TV 1 do. So it'll be recorded and edited and put up here once we're back. But yeah, I will be having more trip vlogs coming. Yeah, I need to figure out what I'm gonna do with the ears thing. I don't know. I might just not do ears, especially if it rains too. I'm like probably be hitting them with my umbrella. I'll just go in my t-shirt. If you guys haven't seen what my t-shirt is, I have a Disney trip announcement. Well, I actually have my vlog from last year. You can go back and look at that from about 10 months ago. I showed what our t-shirts were, but I think I also showed it in my trip announcement also. One is a teal shirt that has the dolphin logo on it. I literally like legit printed it off on my computer on like transfer paper and ironed it onto the t-shirt. And then I have a coral colored t-shirt that has a swan on it with teal colored shorts. My husband has coral colored shorts, and it's funny to see who is a Disney person that like gets it when they see us coming, because if you don't, you'd be like, what are these people wearing? But if you understand it, you know, they really, it was more the cast members that were like, oh my gosh, Swan and Dolphin, you're the Swan and Dolphin. So who doesn't go to Disney as a hotel? Anyway, all right, y'all, well, I've been on for 50 minutes, oh my gosh. I hope you guys have a great rest of your afternoon. Thanks for joining me today. If you have any Disney questions that you'd like me to answer in a future live video, let me know. Put them in the comments below. Happy to answer any questions that I can. Oh, those of you guys asking about essential oils from earlier, if you look down in my description, I have a Facebook link. It's to my Annie Simple Life like page on Facebook, and I have lots of classes going on there. So if you want to learn more about these oil things, this weird diffuser stuff and all that stuff, just join one of those classes. I have 4 coming up in September, so hopefully they're helpful. All right, guys, have a good rest of your evening. Thanks for joining me. I'll see y'all soon. Take care. Bye, guys.